Data is facts that are not being used in the decision process, usually recorded and archived without the intention of being immediately retrieved for decision-making. Data is defined as a representation of the real world representing an object such as humans, animals, events, concepts, circumstances and so on, which are recorded in the form of numbers, letters, symbols, text, images, sounds or combinations thereof. In other words, data is a reality that describes an event and a real entity. Data is material or raw materials that do not have meaning or have a direct effect on users, so that they need to be processed to produce something more meaningful. In statistics, data is a set of numbers which is the value of our sample unit as a result of observing or measuring. Judging from the type of data, we can define as follows. 1. Discrete data is data in the form of integers or data obtained from the results of calculations. For example, the number of children in the family, the number of people with pulmonary tuberculosis, etc. 2. Continuous data. Continuous data is data in the form of a data series that can be decimal form and obtained from measurements. For example, height, weight, body length, etc. 3. Quantitative data. Quantitative data is data in the form of numbers, numeric, for example the number of children under 5 who are immunized, etc. 4. Qualitative data. Qualitative data is data in the form of qualitative or categorical. For example, statements on family planning: agree, disagree. Sources of data can be obtained from various sources to obtain it. Data sources are classified as internal data sources, personal data sources, and external data sources. 1. Internal data sources are people, products, services, and processes. Internal data is generally stored in company databases and is usually accessible. 2. Personal data. Personal data sources are not only in the form of facts, but can also include concepts, thoughts and opinions. 3. External data. External data sources range from commercial databases to sensors and satellites. This data is available on compact discs, flash drives or other media in the form of films, sound images, atlases, and television. The data hierarchy can be organized into several levels, including the following. 1. Data element. A data element is the smallest data unit that cannot be broken down into other meaningful units. Other terms of data elements in a relational database are fields, columns, items, and attributes. 2. Record. A record is a combination of a number of interrelated data elements. Another term for records in a relational database is rows or tuples. A file is a collection of similar records that have the same attribute length, but different contents. Other terms for files in relational databases are files, tables, and relations. Information without data, then the information will not be formed. So important is the role of data in the occurrence of a quality information. The accuracy of the data greatly affects the output of information that will be formed. According to MacLeod, information is data that is processed into a form that is more useful to the recipient. According to Cristanto, information is defined as a collection of data that is processed into something more useful and more meaningful for the recipient. According to Mastachini, information is data that is processed into a form that is useful for the wearer. Based on the opinions of the experts stated above, it can be concluded that information is data that has been processed into a form that is meaningful to users, which is useful in current decision-making or supports information sources. According to Mastachini, information systems can provide 3 types of information, each of which has a different meaning for different levels of management, namely, 1. Scorekeeping information. Scorekeeping information is information in the form of accumulation or data collection to answer questions. 2. Attention-directing information. Attention-directing information is information to help management focus attention on deviant problems, irregularities, inefficiencies and possible opportunities. 3. Problem-solving information. Problem-solving information is information to help top managers make decisions to solve the problems they face. To be useful, information must be supported by 3 pillars, namely, 1. Right to the person or relevancy. This means that the information has benefits for its use. The relevance of information for each person is different from one another. 2. On time or timelines. Means that the information that arrives at the reception should not be late, Information that is outdated will have no value anymore. Because information is the basis for decision making. 3. Exact value or accurate. This means that information must be free from errors. Accurate also means that information must clearly reflect its intent. Information must be accurate because from the source of information to the reception there are many possibilities. According to Mostakini, the value of information is determined by two things, namely the benefits and costs of getting it. If an information benefit is more effective than the cost of getting it, then this information can be said to be valuable. Therefore, an information is said to be valuable if its benefits are more effective than the cost of obtaining it, and most of the information cannot be estimated in terms of monetary value, but its effectiveness can be estimated. Measurement can use cost effectiveness or cost benefit analysis.